About, a lot of us eat a lot of red meat. What does that do energetically, or if there's some other metric by which you measure that? How does that affect our bodies? And why? And why? Can you explain in terms why I see people with various diseases going on a meat-based diet? Does that make sense to you, given your framework of background?
Of why people get better, on a meat-based diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, from here, we sort of change over from Chinese medicine to what I sort of discovered along my dengue hemorrhagic journey. And then I saw this thing on the internet that said stem cells. Now, this is where we're going with carnivore. Said stem cells. Stem cells are your body's own repair system. The more stem cells you have in circulation, the more repair your body can do. And the more repair your body does, the healthier you become. So I actually started looking really deeply into how stem cells worked, what stem cell physiology was all about. And this is why I reached out to you to be on the show, was that in clinic, people used to say to me, what diet should I be on, John? What should I be eating? And all of this sort of stuff. And I go, well, that's a good question, because, some people go carnivore, then they go vegan, or some people go vegan. Some people go macrobiotic and they're eating lots of grains. Other people go no grains. And then I say, but they all get better initially. So what is it? And then I sort of answer that question by saying, well, everybody who changes their diet reduces processed food or eliminates processed food and eliminates a huge amount of sugar. So it's not necessarily what's important going in your mouth, it's what you're not putting in your mouth. So, and that's why everybody initially gets better. How sustainable those diets are, well, that just depends on the individual and their storehouse. So when we look at this, I'm looking at this and I'm going, where does stem cells fit into this? Because when people change their diet, they get better from things like, Parkinson's and polycystic ovaries and, diabetes and all this sort of stuff. So when you look at stem cell physiology, every cell in your body has a limited lifespan. So some cells live for 2 or 3 days and then they die. Some cells live for a week or two and then they die. And some cells live for a few months and then they die. And then what happens is that when that cell gets to the end of its lifespan, it sends out a chemical messenger out to the bone marrow, GCSF. And when that goes to the bone marrow releases a stem cell. That stem cell floats through circulation, and then it comes in contact with CXCR4, which is an adhesion molecule on the side of the capillary. The stem cell adhesions to that. It migrates through this capillary wall, comes in contact with that dying or damaged cell, and it switches on the gene and becomes a brand new healthy cell of that organ, tissue, or gland. So that's stem cell physiology, and that's happening every minute of every day. But what happens is that when we're eating all this plant food and inflammatory type food, that inflammation starts blocking those signals. So that cell in that tissue doesn't get fixed. It doesn't get replaced. So as you cut down this whole elimination diet down to keto or carnivore, you reduce all that inflammation, which means your stem cell physiology starts working better. So your stem cells can then go and do their surveillance that they need to, and they turn into insulin secreting pancreatic cells. They turn into new heart cells, kidney cells, liver cells, cartilage cells. So the carnivore diet is really the ultimate stem cell supporting diet, which then allows your body to repair and regenerate itself.
John, thank you. Go ahead.
Can I just finish with one thing?
Sure, absolutely.
The Japanese, this whole thing about why the Japanese live so long and they're so healthy. The Japanese eat this stuff called wakame, which is a seaweed, because people go, oh, is it this, is it that, is it something else? But the Japanese, all through their lives, they eat wakame, which is a seaweed. It's called Undaria pinna foetida. And wakame actually has a compound that helps to release your stem cells from the bone marrow. So all their lives, they're having like this addition or the support to their own body's repair system. And so they're being able to repair at a greater rate for a longer period of time. And then you add into that the people who live the longest out of the longest in Japan are the meat eaters. Well, they're having less inflammation. So the combination of having that stem cell nutrition, if you like, and the carnivore-ish type diet that they have, then longer and healthier.
Interesting. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. Anyway, Thanks everybody. We'll see you later. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Bye-bye now.
All right.